Hey guys, Justin here with TechBusters. Today's video is going to review 5 performance tweaking myths in Windows that have been debunked. So let's dig in. Alright guys, so myth number 1 is erasing cache files on a regular basis to speed up things like browser speed. So if you've downloaded CCleaner or scheduled the Windows Disk Cleanup tool on a regular basis like you're seeing right here, to erase browser cache files thinking it will speed up your browsers, whenever you do delete browser cache files, it actually slows down your web browsing, as your web browsing is forced to re-download the files all over again and reconstruct the cache you regularly delete. Now, with that said, CCleaner and the Disk Cleanup tool, they do actually speed up older machines quite a bit, but that's only because they're actually deleting a large amount of files, not just because they're deleting the temporary internet files of the cache. So don't think that deleting your cache is going to speed up your browser, because it's not. Myth number 2 is actually disabling your page file to increase performance. And I'm going to show you guys how to get to the page file real quick. So you go to your advanced settings here. Go ahead and close that. And your performance settings, and then advanced here. Virtual memory. So here's the paging file. So whenever Windows runs out of space and RAM, it swaps out data for memory to a paging file on your hard disk. If your computer doesn't have much RAM or memory and it's running slow, it's probably moving data to the page file or reading data from it. A lot of guys think that deleting the page file or a page file is not needed. Well, that's true if you have a lot of RAM. But disabling it totally to increase speed or performance, that's not actually a good idea. So Windows is actually uses the page file very rarely, and there have been numerous tests by different websites. One of my favorite, howtogeek.com, that have found that disabling the page file offers absolutely zero performance benefit. Myth number 3 is enabling CPU cores through MSConfig. So let's pull up system configuration here and take a look at our advanced options. So this is where a lot of guys go out there and say, you know what, whenever my PC boots, I've got an 8-core monster and I want all 8 cores booting up my computer. So a lot of websites, and it's a very common misconception, but a lot of websites claim that Windows is not using all the CPU cores, or that you can speed up your boot time by increasing the cores used during boot. And of course they direct you to the MSConfig application, where, as I just showed you right here, is where you can make those changes. But in reality, Windows over the past few years have always actually used the maximum amount of CPU cores on boot to get going. And technically only 1 core is used at the beginning of the boot process, but as soon as the boot process initiates, all your additional cores are quickly activated into the OS. So it's not really a good tweak. It's not worth going out there and tweaking your settings to try to get that half a millisecond speed boost, you know. So that's another myth. Myth number 4 is actually cleaning your Prefetch folder to increase your startup speed. So your Prefetch folder is basically a folder of all these PF files, and Windows watches programs and that you run and creates these PF files in the Prefetch folder. The Prefetch feature works like sort of like a cache. Whenever you open up an application in Windows will first go check the Prefetch folder, look for the application's PF file if it exists, and then uses that as a guide to start preloading the data the application will use. So this actually helps applications boot faster and start faster. Now, if you were to regularly clean this folder out, not only would your programs take longer to open, because they won't be preloaded, of course, and there won't be a PF file there, but Windows will have to waste time recreating all those PF files. So whenever customers ask me to speed up their computer, I kind of stay away from this. I know some guys like it, but I definitely stay away from deleting the PF folder. It's just, to me, it makes sense. And our last myth number 5, is manually running disk defrag on a machine older than Windows 98, or newer than Windows 98. I'm sorry. a lot of people like to run this, schedule it every day or every weekend, what have you. There's really no need to, not unless you're running a Windows 98 machine where people had to manually open the Defrag tool, run it, and ensure no other applications were running or using the hard drive while this tool was using while it was doing its work. But with modern versions of Windows, all this stuff, the OS is capable of defragging your file system while other programs are using it, and it actually automatically defrags your disk for you. If there was an issue, Windows would notify itself and schedule a defrag, whenever the next boot up was. Guys, this has been our top 5 performance tweaking myths in Windows. If you guys like what you see here, give us a good thumbs up. Share the video with your friends and pals. If you got comments, put them down below. Till next time, see you guys later.